Well, up first this half hour, growing up in Michigan, Chell Osuntade loved listening to music that sounded like this. But Chell says it was hard, actually, to meet others with similar tastes in music. He says that some people like him in the Black community felt that they had to listen to the stereotypical Black, quote-unquote, genres of music, like hip-hop, rap, and R&B. But for Chell, his experience was a bit different. Chell Osuntade is a Black musician here in Winnipeg, now lives here, and he's here to talk about what it was like for him to try to fit into the punk genre of music that he loved, which was and has been dominated by white artists. And he's in studio. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Great.
Good. I saw you smiling ear to ear when we were playing that. Tell me why it's one of your faves.
Yeah, like I was just telling you, it's the first time I've heard it other than my computer at home or off my phone or off my AirPods, so it's really interesting. And yeah, that's just the kind of music that I'm drawn to, and the kind of music that I am naturally able to write.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's fun.
Who was that?
That was me.
That was you? What
me.
song was it?
That song is actually unreleased right now. It's coming out later this year in May. I'm not sure how much of this I can say, but it's coming out in May. I'm going to say that. And yeah, it's going to be our second song ever. We have one song released right now. It's on Spotify. It's on anything you want to. It's called Medical Jargon, if you want to find it, by Fold Paper. And that one's going to be the second one.
It's good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I liked it. Thank you. Tell me a little bit more about this tension and people trying to box you in as a Black artist.
Yeah, it's just that stereotype. When you see a Black person or a Black artist, you automatically assume or put them in a box. R&B, so even indie, a lot of Black artists, are trying out the indie genre now. But when you actually go into the punk genre and the more niche stuff, you don't see as many as many Black artists doing that genre. So like I said, it was just something I was drawn to, and I thank God I have a natural ability to write it. I've written a ton of songs now. So yeah, it's just something I'm drawn to, and it's I find a really good interest in it because it's really obscure. It's something a lot of people haven't heard about. If you say post-punk, people don't really know what to think, or maybe they think of something, it's not really what it is now.
What post-punk is.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you describe what it is now?
Post-punk, when people hear post-punk, there was like a big uprising of post-punk back in the, 70s, 80s, 90s. And now it's kind of, we're calling it post-punk revivalism because we're trying to like bring it back, make it cool again, turn it into something a little bit different, a little bit, I like to say cooler, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just, that's what it is to me now. It's just trying to bring that back, make it fun, make it more accessible.
I mean, punk's roots are in activism and message, and I mean the stereotype is in anger and in yelling and getting it out there. Is there a change? How do you describe the change in the sound? And is there a change in that message aspect of the music, or is that still something that's core to it?
Yeah, big change in sound. For me especially, like when you think of post-punk, you might think of bands like Joy Division or even The Strokes sometimes. Very adjacent to the sound now is still very adjacent, but just throwing in a lot of new sounds, a lot of new kind of drum beats, so it's not a straight drum beat. A lot of syncopated stuff, and then as well as the message is, I like to say that I'm not. That's the part I really don't fit, because usually it's about being rebellious. It's about being angry. I'm not an angry guy, but I can still write the genre. I can still make it sound really, really good. But I just I like to put a different kind of message behind it. It's whatever comes to me. It's just usually not super angry, usually not super rebellious or anything. You know what I mean?
You talked about growing up in Michigan and sort of where you around you, people were trying to put you in those other genres of music. What challenges have you faced trying to fit into the music scene, if any, here in Winnipeg? Like, what does it mean to be a Black artist doing punk in Winnipeg?
Good Lord, I always say that the Winnipeg music scene is such a blessing to have because it's just so accepting. It's so accepting. It's so easygoing. And being a Black artist, I found that it was easy for me to, get myself integrated into it. I started playing shows. I moved here in 2016 and started playing shows around 2017, and it's literally just been like an upwards, progression in being able to share my music more, playing more shows, playing bigger shows. And so I always say it's a really big blessing for me that I was able to come into the scene. And I'm really thankful for it. Very, very thankful for it.
How do you feel overall about how Black artists are represented within music? Are we making headway there? If you think back in the day, what you would have faced, or is it expanding now, or is it still a fight?
I think it absolutely is expanding. I like to think that I'm, I like to say that I'm one of the first to actually be like, hey, I'm doing this genre. Well, not one of the first, but, trying to get it pushing, trying to get it going. I'm doing the post-punk genre, and hopefully I like to think that that'll make more people rally up and be like, okay, maybe it is cool to try something new. Maybe it is cool to, listen to a genre or other than what I usually listen to. You know what I mean? So I think we're making a lot of headway, and it's doing really well for what it is right now.
Is it important for you to see more Black artists represented in punk?
Absolutely it is. It would just make it that more natural for us to be seen in scenes like that, and in post-punk shows or just regular pop punk or punk shows. I'd like to see it be just normal, because I'm still sticking out like a sore thumb when I'm out at shows and I'm playing shows, because I'm usually the only Black guy. Not the only Black guy, but one of very few.
Yeah.
It'd just be nice to see a lot more.
I was going to ask you about that, whether or not you've been able to find a mentor, like a Black punk mentor that's a musician. But it sounds like you're mentoring.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to mentor. Definitely. I will say I have. There's been a lot of folks that I've kind of looked up to, and one name coming to me right now is Jeremy Haywood Smith. He's the lead singer of Jaywood and doing very, very well right now. And he was a really big help for me when I came into the scene as a Black artist. Played a lot of shows with him. I still play in his band. We're going on tour in Toronto next week.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's a name I immediately think of.
I find we have that here really as well. We do have pretty strong mentorships.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that grew out of Jerry Atwell's experience or so many other people in our music community otherwise, or the late Jerry Atwell, I should say. But there's been a lot of strong mentorships. So
absolutely.
Lead the way, Chell. We want to save some time to play some more music. That okay with you?
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
That is Chell Osuntade, a Black musician here in Winnipeg, talking about punk, which is his thing. Here's an upcoming song, a little bit more, from a band that he's in called Fold Paper. So this tune's called Nothing to Report. So we'll play a little bit more, and we promise in future shows to play the full tune.
Thank you for watching the CBC Manitoba YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For the latest breaking news and top stories, download the CBC News app.